Well, one thing that Boris Johnson wanted to echo and emphasize on his way out the door was that Britain in general still stands strongly behind Ukraine. Take a look.
And let me say now to the people of Ukraine that I know that we in the UK will continue to back your fight for freedom for as long as it takes.
All right, Keith Kellogg joins us right now, the former national security advisor under former Vice President Mike Pence. General, if I am, President Zelensky, and I've had overwhelming support from certainly Boris Johnson, a repeated visitor at great personal risk to that country, and now he's gone, should I worry that the support that came with that might be frayed?
Yeah, Neil, thanks for having me. The answer is yes. Look, I don't know who's going to replace him. You know, it's Penny Mordaunt, who used to be the trade representative during Brexit, or Ben Wallace, who's the defense secretary. But nobody can match his personality, what he wanted to do. Under Boris Johnson, under his leadership, Britain was the second largest contributor to Ukraine in the sense of defense spending. They spent almost $8 billion. They were far and away the #2 contributor. 60% of those $8 billion was to military supplies. They were one of the first nations to provide anti-tank munitions. They flew a lot of equipment into Lviv, into Ukraine. Boris Johnson was on the ground early. He visited Ukraine twice. He walked the streets. He gave a lot of support to Zelensky. And so the Russians saw that. So they were a very strong supporter. I honestly, very candidly, Neil, I think he's been a much more of a personal and leadership supporter of Zelensky than our president has. And our president hasn't visited, our vice president hasn't visited, and Boris Johnson was willing to walk the streets and talk the talk. So they're going to miss him over there. I really believe that. Will they continue to have that support? As time goes on, I think everybody's going to wane a little bit on the support, but the Brits have always been there, and Boris Johnson led that. I can see why Putin is kind of happy he's gone.
Yeah, he was very happy. In fact, he and his ambassador to that country, to Great Britain, had been saying pretty much all day today, well, look at this, just desserts, and to a man blaming it not so much on some of these domestic issues that Johnson was dealing with, but the fact that he was leading this, what Putin called unpopular cause in Ukraine against Russia. What did you make of that?
Well, I think it's Putin's words. Here we go again. He knows that he's lost an adversary, and more importantly, he's lost an adversary to Putin that is a nuclear power, because when he's losing Johnson, there goes one of the nuclear powers if they start to get out of the game. And he's been very vocal. He's been much more vocal in support of Zelensky than Macron of France or Scholz of Germany or any of the other leaders. And as I said a minute ago, I think he's been more vocal in support of Zelensky than even President Biden. So Putin sees that, and he knows that one of his adversaries is now off the charts. And I think nobody's going to replace Boris Johnson as we know him. I mean, you're right. He's kind of a character. You got to give him credit. He's also an American. He was born in America. That's maybe some of the strong blood he had there.
That's true.
But, I think Putin's kind of happy he's gone.
John Kirby at the White House was addressing this when it broke late yesterday. And he was saying that nothing has changed for his American policy in sync with British policy as well. I want you to listen to this, General. If I'm President Zelensky, I'm worried. Should I be worried?
No, I don't think so. He knows the international support that he's getting in fighting this war, and he knows because every leader at NATO and every leader at the G7 said they were going to continue to support Ukraine for as long as it takes. And I think President Zelensky understands that he has that international support, regardless of what government is in power in any one of those countries.
You don't quite buy that, do you, General?
I know, boy, Neil, I don't. And here's why. Look, it's a lot of talk going on, but we have not supplied them with the kit they really need, the equipment, the military equipment that they need to push back on the Russian offensive that is currently going on. We have said repeatedly it's an attrition fight. The Russians are using artillery to great strength, and they are really damaging the Ukrainian fight. We had an opportunity to counter that with things like the MLRS or even more fighter jets. We did not do that. So talk is really cheap. And I would challenge Kirby and I would challenge the president. Give them what they really need to fight. They've asked for it repeatedly. Boris Johnson saw that. He gave them some MLRS early. He gave them almost as many as we did. He understood what needed to be contributed to win this fight, and we have not done it. So talk to me has been pretty cheap, and I really want to push back on them. We have been saying this repeatedly for the last several weeks. Give them what they need to win the fight. We have not done that.
General, thank you very much, and for your service to this country, sir. Great catching up with you on all of this. Keith Kellogg.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.